Hi there. For our lesson today we are going to explain chapter 3 lesson 2 for the grade 10 scientific quadratic function. Please do not forget to subscribe the page and write your comment if you have any question and push like button. Let us start our lesson. I am Tawfiq Umar, math teacher. Here we have two linear expressions f and g. We must find the multiply of them. X plus 1 times x plus 1 is equal. Time the first one with the first one. X times x is x squared, and the first one with the second one, x times 1 is x, and the second one times the first one is x, and second one times the second one, it is 1, and simplifying is x squared plus 2x plus 1. X plus x is to 1. We get the quadratic expression, and now we must multiply these two linear expression. 2x multiplied by minus 2x plus 1. First one with the first one, it is equal minus 4x squared, and multiply by the second one, it is plus 2x. Again we get the quadratic expression. Here again we have minus x plus 2 multiplied it by 0.5x plus 1. The first one multiplied by the first one is minus 0.5. X times x is x squared, and the first one with the second one is minus x, and the second one by the first one is 2 times half is 1, so it is plus 1x, and 2 times 1 is 2. Simplifying, minus 0.5 x squared minus x plus x is b0 plus 2. We get the quadratic expression. Find the sum of each of the following. 2x multiplied by x minus 1. 2x times x is 2x squared, and 2x times minus 1 is minus 2x. The second one, x times x is x squared, and x times minus 1 is minus x, and 2 times x is 2x, and 2 times minus 1 is minus 2. Simplifying is x squared minus x plus 2x is plus x minus 2. We are learning here that if we multiply two linear expression, we will get the quadratic expression, and if you have a multiply, we will get the sum of them. The quadratic expression is an expression can be written in form ax squared plus bx plus c, where a, b, and c are real number and a is not equal to 0. The real numbers a, b, and c are called the coefficient of the quadratic expression. We can get quadratic expression by multiplying two linear expression. The simplest form of the quadratic function is f of x is equal x squared. It is the parent function. Note that when we learned to multiply two expressions, we learned how to write the product as a sum. That means we have a product and we're changing it to the sum. And factoring of allowing us how to write a sum as a product. Factoring allow us how to write a sum as a product. As you can see here, if the product is given, if wanted to write a sum, we must multiply these two terms. But if the sum is given and to find the multiply, we must factoring the sum. Factoring quadratic expression. The first way to factor is greatest common factor. Example number 1, factor each expression. A, 3m squared minus 12m. First of all, we must find the greatest common factor. Here it is between 3 and 12 is 3, and between m squared and m is m. For the variables, every time take the same variable with the smallest power. And now write down the greatest common factor, which is 3m. After that, open the bracket. After that, divide each term with the great common factor, which is 3m squared over 3m minus 12m over 3m. And now cancelling 3 with 3 and m with the power, and 3 with the 12 is 4, and m cancelling with m, remain 3m, open the bracket, here remain m minus 4. This is how we factoring using the greatest common factor. B, as you can see here, we have two brackets. 4x plus 5, 4x plus 5 are the same. So write down it at the beginning. After that, open the bracket. This one is cancelling, remain 3x. Write down minus, and this one is cancelling, remain 5. This is how we factoring with using the greatest common factor. Factoring an explanation of the form ax squared plus bx plus c. Let us take some example. The first one, we have x squared plus 7x plus 10. First of all, open two brackets. After that, multiply the signs. The first sign, it is positive. Positive time positive is positive, and positive time positive is positive. And x squared become xx. Remain the number 10, and number 7, which is the middle. We must find two numbers. Their multiply must be 10 and their sum must be 7. Why sum? Because both brackets has the same sign, positive, positive. So it is 2 and 5. 2 times 5 is 10, and 2 plus 5 is 7. So we can write 2 here and 5 here. Do not forget to check your solution. by multiplying the term at the middle. Plus 2 times x is plus 2x. After that, the term with the outside, x times 5x, 5 is 5x. 2x plus 5x is 7x, which is equal the middle term here. So my solution is correct. Another example, open two bracket, and the first sign is positive. Positive times negative is negative, and negative times positive is negative, and x. After that, we need the same thing for 10 and 7. Because both brackets are negative, so we must search for two numbers. Their multiply must be 10 and their sum must be 7, which is 2 times 5 is 10 and 2 plus 5 is 7. So we can write 2 here and 5 here. To check our answer, multiply these two middle. Minus 2x times x is minus 2x, and multiply the outside. X times minus 5x is equal minus 7x, which is equal a middle term, which is here minus 7x. Let us take another example, and now open two bracket. Plus times plus is plus, and plus times minus is minus. X. This time the sign of the brackets are different. One of them is opposite of the other. So we must search for the two numbers. Their multiply must be 10 and their subtraction must be 3. It's 2 and 5. 2 times 5 is 10 and 5 minus 2 is 3. And now write down one of them 2 and the other one 5. After writing that, do not forget to check your answer. Two numbers at the middle, plus 2 times x plus 2x, and two numbers outside, it's minus 5x. It's become 2x minus 5x is minus 3x, but we have here plus 3x at the middle. So we have something is not correct with the sign. So change the place of the signs. Make this one negative and this one positive. And now check your solution. At the middle, minus 2x. Outside, plus 5x. Summation between of them is plus 3x, which is equal a middle term. Here we are doing the same thing. Open two bracket. X plus time minus is minus, minus time plus is plus. Plus time minus is minus, and minus time minus is plus. X. Again, they are different at the signs, so we must search for the two numbers. Their multiply must be 10 and their subtraction must be 3. These two numbers are 5 and 2. Write 5 here and 2 here, and after that check your solution. This one, minus 5x, outside plus 2x. The summation of them is minus 3x, which is equal the middle point. So my solution is correct. Example number 2. Open two brackets. Here, open two brackets. Plus time plus is plus, plus time plus is plus, x x. Because the both bracket has same sign, so 6 must be 2 times 3, because 2 plus 3 is equal 5, so here 2 and here 3. Check your answer. Plus 2x, outside plus 3x, so it's equal 5x, which equal the middle term. So my solution is correct. For this example, open two brackets. After that, plus time minus is minus, minus time minus is plus, x x. And now for 11, we must search for two numbers. Their multiply must be 11, and their sum must be, their difference must be 10, which is 11 times 1 is 11, and 11 minus 1 is 10. So it is here 11 and here 1. Check your answer. At the middle minus x, outside plus 11x is equal plus 10x, but we have negative, so change the sign of the brackets. Make this one positive and this one negative. Find the sum of each of the following. A, x minus 2, x plus 2. As you can see, both of them is the same numbers, x, x and 2, 2, but they are different with the sign. To open these two brackets, only multiply the first one with the first one, x times x is x squared, and multiply the second one with the second one, minus 2 plus time plus 2 is minus 4. It's called the difference between two squares. Here again is the same thing. Both of them are the same, but the first one is negative and the second one is positive. So multiply the first one with the first one is x squared, and the second one with the second one, which is minus 1. Factoring the difference of two squares. If we have a square minus b square, so to factor it, only open two brackets, one of them negative and the other one positive, and take the square root of each one. Square root of x square is a square is a, b square is b. But be careful, a square plus b square, we cannot factoring. It's not factoring. So be careful, okay? And now let us take some example. Here, x square minus 16. The first one is square and the second one is square, and we have difference between of them, so it is different between two square. Open two bracket, one of them positive and the second one is negative. Square root of x square is x, and square root of 16 is 4. B, here the same thing. The first one is square and the second one is square, and difference between of them, so it is different between two squares. open two bracket, write the first one positive and the second one, the first one negative and one of them positive and the other negative, and x, and after that the square root of 25 is 5. Here, to opening this bracket, we have two ways. First of all, we can write 2 times the bracket and opening this. The first one time the first one is x squared. The first one time the second one is minus 2x. The second one time the first one is minus 2x. And the second one time the second one is plus 4. Simplifying, minus 2x is minus 4x plus 4. This is a way. And we have another way using the formula. We can use this formula, the first one square, the sign of the middle, 2 times first one times second one, plus the second one square. Here the first one we have is x, so x square. After that we have the sign of negative, so write negative. 2 times the first one, which is x, the second one is 2. After that plus, every time here it's plus the second one, which is 2, is square. It becomes x square. 2 times 2 is 4x plus 4. As you can see, they are the same answer. Here doing the same thing is equal. The first one, which is 2x square, the sign of the second one is plus 2 times the first one times the second one, after that plus the second one square. It's equal. 2x square is 4x square plus 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 3 is 12x plus 9. And now we are going to factoring with the perfect square. If we have the quadratic with the 3 terms, the first one positive and square, and the third one positive and square, and the middle is 2 times the square root of the first one times the square root of the second one, we can solve it, the factoring, in this way. If here is negative or positive, both of them is the same thing. Let us take an example. To factoring with the perfect square, we have 2 conditions. The first and the third terms must be square and positive number. And 2 times square root of the first one times square root of the second one must equal the middle term. Let us take this example. A, x squared minus 6x plus 3. As you can see here, that the first one is positive and square, and the third one is positive and square. That means it satisfies the first condition. To know if it is satisfying the second condition or not, doing that 2 times square root of the first one times square root of the third one, which is equal 2 times x times 3, which is equal 6x. As you can see, it is equal the middle term. It's equal the middle term, this one. To factor this one, only open a bracket and put on it square, and write the square root of the first one, which is x. After that, the sign of the second one, which is negative, and the square root of 9, which is 3. Okay. b, we are doing the same thing. As you can see here with b, the first one is positive and the third one is positive, and both of them are square, so it satisfies the first condition, remain the second condition. 2 times the square root of the first one, square root of 4x squared is 2x, times the square root of the third one, which is 1, is equal 4x, which is equal the middle term. So we must open the bracket and put square on it, and square root of the first one is 2x, the second sign, and the square root of the third one. Example number 4. Example 4. Factor each expression. This expression, if we look at carefully for it, we can see that the first one is square and the second one is square, and we have difference between of them. So we can open two brackets, one of them positive and the other one is negative, and take square root of the x to the power 4. Square root of x to the power 4 is x to the power 2, and the square root of 16 is 4. So we write x square here and x square here and 4 here and 4 here too. But if we see that this quadratic expression cannot be factoring, so write it down because it is a positive. But this one we can factor it as a difference between two squares, open two bracket, and one of them positive and the other one is negative, and square root of x square is xx, and square root of 4 is 2. This is the factor of x to the power 4 minus 16. And now for this one we have two ways to solve this expression. First of all, we can factor by taking greatest common factor, which is 4, between them. Here 4x squared divided by 4 remain x squared, minus 24x divided by 4 is 6x, plus 36 divided by 4 is 9. And after that, as you can see, the first one is positive and the third one is positive too, and 2 times the square root of the first one times the square root of the third one, which is 9, square root of 9 is 3, is equal 6x, which is a middle vector. So it is a perfect square. Write down 4 and open one bracket and put square on it, and the second sign, and the square root of the first one, which is x, and the square root of the third one, which is 3. This is some way, or we can do from the beginning. We can say that from the beginning the first one is positive and square and the third one positive and square. We can solve it as a perfect square. Open a bracket and put square on it. The square root of the first one is 2x, minus the square root of the third one is 6. After that, we can take 2 as a common factor. Inside the bracket it's become 2, remain x minus 3, all of them is square. After that, give the square for 2 to 2 and to the bracket, it become 2 square is 4, and x minus 3 is square 2. They are the same answer. Try this for factor each expression. We have the first one is square and the second one is square and difference between of them. So it is the difference between two squares. Open two bracket. One of them positive and the other one is negative. Square root of 9x square is 3x and 3x here. And the square or root of 49 is 7. Here again we can do it second, take the 3 as a common factor, is become x square minus 2x plus 1, and this one is a perfect square is equal 3, open bracket and put 2 over it, and the second side square root of the first one is x and square root of the third one is 1. This is the solution. We can using the factoring to solve the quadratic equation. First of all, let us take these two examples. Write the missing number. As you can see, if we multiply 5 by which number, the answer be 0. It must be 0 because 5 times 0 is 0. And what number we must multiply it by 12, the result must be 0. It is 0. This is called the zero product property. That means if we have two numbers, their multiply is equal to 0, must be one of them is 0. The definition is says zero product property. If we have q times p is equal to 0, then p is equal 0 or q is equal 0. One of them must be equal 0. We can use this one to solve or to find the 0 of the function or the intercept of the function or the roots of the function. To do that, we must follow these steps. The first step, write all terms to one side. The second step, factor the expression. And third step, use the zero product property. This x is called the root of the function, or it's called the zero of the function, or it is equal intercept, x intercept of the function. For this example number 6, use the zero product property to find 0 of each quadratic function. 0 of the quadratic function. First of all, take the right side and equal it to 0. After that, factor the left side. Here we are factoring using the greatest common factor, which is x, because between 2 and 11 we haven't any factor, common factor, and between x square and x we have x. After that, dividing 2x square divided by x remain 2x, minus 11x divided by x remain 11 is equal to 0. Using the zero product property, we can say x is equal to 0, or 2x minus 11 equal to 0. Because we have two numbers, their multiply is 0, there must be one of them is 0. Here we taking 11 from left to the right become 2x equal 11 and dividing by 2, so x is equal 11 over 2. That means this function has two roots. One of them is 0 and the other is 11 over 2. Or we can say that this function has two 0. One of them x is equal to 0 and x equal to 11 over 2. Or we can say that this function has two x-intercept, one of them x equal to 0 and the second one is x equal 11 over 2. Here we're doing the same thing. Take the right side, x squared minus 40x plus 45 is equal 0. Open two brackets, plus time minus is minus, minus time plus is minus, x. So we must search for two numbers. Their multiply must be 45 and their sum must be 40. These two numbers are 9 times 5. 9 times 5 is 45 and 9 plus 5 is 40. So we can use these two numbers. 9, 5 is equal to 0. And now we can say that x minus 9 is equal to 0, or x minus 5 is equal to 0. Here x is equal 9 and here x is equal to 5. That means this function has two roots, one of them 9 and the other one is 5, and it has two zeros, one of them x equal to 9 and the other one x is equal to 5, and it has two intercepts, one of them is 9 and the other is 5. Here we reach the end of the lesson. Thank you for watching. Please do not forget to subscribe the page and write your comment if you have any question, and share it with your friend and push like button. Thank you and good luck and goodbye.